Hello, this is RJ City, and I am ethically opposed to any more wrestling podcasts. I don't know why you guys are talking about wrestling. It is a niche product. It is a very small industry. Yet, at this point, there's more wrestling podcasts than there are wrestlers. There is something wrong with society as a whole, but as you get smaller and smaller into wrestling, and then the wrestling podcast sphere, it gets even worse. And one such example, if I may turn on the microscope and look at the drudgery that happens to be True Heel Heat. SP3, Sid, this is your fault.
Alright, this is Dan House here, very nice, very evil. You are watching True Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Alright, hello, True Heel Heat. I'm the AEW World Champion MJF. Just in case you're deaf, dumb, blind, stupid, or since you listen to this podcast, or you're listening to True Heel Heat, and I apologize for that.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3, and we are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube and Facebook for our NJPW the New Japan Cup 2026 preview, breaking down this year's tournament that started this morning on March 4th, 2026, and will go on until March 21st with the winner moving on to verse Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship this April 4th to be exact, at Sakura Genesis. And of course, to break down all the action, to give you our winners and losers for each match of the tournament, I am joined, as always, by the MC of the past, present, and future of New Japan Pro Wrestling here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. It is your boy, J-News. How you doing, J-News?
Doing all right, brother. Doing all right. Good afternoon to you and everybody else out there. The New Japan Cup is vast this year. There's a lot to break down. There's a lot of emotions that are going to go into this one. just because of where I want to see certain talents go. And then, your usual, stuff from me and you when it comes to certain talents. So at the end of the day, we're here to have fun, and we're here to break it down, and we're here to have this conversation. So, like you said, it started this morning. I got home late last night around 11:30, and the first thing I noticed on my YouTube feed is the New Japan thumbnail saying it's live at 4:30 a.m. And I'm like, not today, brother, not today.
Not today, Satan. Not today.
So I will watch this later. So everything has started. Things have already commenced, and we are on the way.
Indeed. We appreciate y'all for joining us live. We appreciate y'all for watching us on demand. Remember to show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. You can drop a thumbs up on this video. You can share this video with all of your wrestling family, friends, and fans on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. We are here about sometimes 7 days a week, like it's been over the last couple of weeks. We've been hitting y'all with the live content, whether it's for WWE and Elimination Chamber, whether it's for AE Ramble reviewing AEW Dynamite. I got 2 previews this week with this one, as well as WWE NXT Vengeance Day coming up on Friday. So you got plenty of great content for you to enjoy here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So a great time to start off 2026 by joining us and becoming part of the community. And of course, if you're with us on demand, comment down below and give us your prediction. Who do you think will win the fight of the spring? Who will move on to face Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Sakura Genesis? Give us your pick for the winner of the tournament in the comments down below. If you're with us on demand, you are part of the show. So we'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel and our continued coverage of New Japan Pro Wrestling, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We got Bloody Money who says, hey, SP3 J-News, and no Sanol is learning some Japanese. She's on her way to Japan, guys, next month for Sakura Genesis. So she's brushing up on her Japanese, so she's not able to join us for the Wednesday streams. But when we're back on Fridays and we're talking about, back on either Friday or Mondays talking about New Japan, she'll be back with us. Don't worry. Or check out Sanal's life if you want to hear her predictions on the New Japan Cup. We also got Bloody Money who says, we pray for best wishes for Tomohiro Ishii, who dealing with neck injury. Yes, it was announced. We got the dreaded black background, white lion mark logo earlier this week, and it revealed that Tomohiro Ishii unfortunately suffered a neck injury in his matchup against Boltin Oleg at the New Beginning USA show, and he is now officially out of the New Japan Cup. What is your feelings on that with Tomohiro Ishii going down due to injury? He's an older guy, man, and I think they were playing with fate when he barely dodged the hip injury that he looked like he suffered on the AEW Dynamite match.
Yeah, man. Shouts to Big Tom, because at the end of the day, this is just sad, and he should be in the New Japan Cup. But we got the cozy one. Kojima's in the tournament this year, replacing Big Tom and stuff like that. They did not dodge the bullet, essentially, man. They did not dodge the bullet, essentially. It wasn't the hip, it wasn't the hamstring, but it ended up being his neck during that match with Boltin Oleg. And yeah, man, speedy recovery to Big Tom, man. Hopefully we see him down the road, and he gets healthy and things of that nature. But yeah, man, it's a loss nonetheless, because he's always giving us bangers, even at his advanced age and stuff like that. So we'll see as to what Kojima has left in the tank, especially in the tournament, for him, because it's been a while since he's been in a tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we'll see how it all breaks down for Kojima-san in all this. So hey, man, but yeah, props, shout outs, and well wishes to Big Tom.
We also got Bloody Money giving us a Stardom update. He says the Cinderella tournament at Stardom will start March 6th, 7th, 8th, 11th, and 15th. The participants have revealed, but no bracket revealed yet. Maybe Scott E Wrestling may have information, but yeah, they have basically Stardom and New Japan have very similar formats where it's tournament season around this time, and the Cinderella tournament is very unique when it comes to any type of other tournament in wrestling, where the winner gets like a whole Cinderella dress and crown, and they get one wish. Their wish can be a matchup, a title match, whatever they like, but they get one wish if they win the Cinderella tournament. I've seen some good stuff from them in the past, so I'll probably try to follow as best as I can with the Cinderella tournament as it goes on. But I'm more of a 5-star Grand Prix guy myself. What about you, Start? What about you, J-News?
Yeah, man. I try to to keep up with things, but the great Scott E now has his own YouTube channel for folks who don't know. So follow him over there on his YouTube channel if you guys want to stay abreast of all things Joshi. So follow him over there. And he posted something on his Instagram, on not his Instagram, his Twitter account about the Cinderella tournament and stuff like that. But like Blood Money said, the brackets in totality haven't been released, but it's something that I'm looking forward to. The women's wrestling all over the world right now is on a very good high. So I want to continue to follow and support. And yeah, it'll start in a couple of days. So looking forward to it. And hopefully we see what the machination of 2026 builds out to be for Stardom, because without Saya-sama in for the first couple of months and stuff like that, and them trying to figure out who's going to be the next lead-in is always interesting. So, yeah, definitely pay attention to that for folks who are interested.
Yeah. Looks like we got the Stat King, John Martin, in the chat with us today. Good to see you, good brother. He says, what's going on, guys? Got Yota in a wrestling fantasy league I'm in, along with Yuya, Shingo, Finley, and Newman. So I'm very interested in the New Japan Cup. I think you're going to be very happy if you got those guys. You have some of the favorites to win this year's tournament. If you've been following along with Chris Samsa over on Twitter, it seems that you got two of the top names as far as everybody's brackets are concerned, but we'll give you our predictions as well. Shout outs to the Negro Buck Nick Jackson in the chat with us today. Says the hardest working channel in the YouTube wrestling space, 100%. Indeed, I appreciate those kind words. He also shows some love for Sanal heading to Japan, and he also says, yeah, prayers up for Ishii. Never a good sign to see that white lion mark. It's never good news when you see the white lion mark. It's either someone's leaving, someone's injured, someone's gone, like, yeah, one or the other. We also got John who says, if anyone can bounce back from a neck injury is Ishii. I don't know how he even had a neck anymore. He nearly lost all of it. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, man, he's he's like that indestructible force at the end of the day. You know, sometimes he'll go down, but he'll never be out. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, well wishes to him and things of that nature. No Big Tom on AEW. He's a great character, even though he says nothing. Absolutely nothing. He never says a word. And he's been great at the end of the day. But not to see him here in the New Japan Cup, he's going to be sorely missed and stuff like that. So, but yeah, man. Shouts to the Stat King. Haven't spoken to him in a while, so shouts to him. Hope you're well, brother. But yeah.
He was like Ishii was playing a little too close to the sun as well, because he, like we said, he barely skated by on the hip injury or hamstring injury in the matchup against the War Dogs, and then he goes like he was going back and forth between New Japan and AEW. Like he went to Japan, then he did AEW show last week. He did the Andrade match, great match if you haven't seen it on Collision. That same week, 2 days later, he's having that banger with Boltin Oleg. He was close. He was flying too close to the sun at like nearly 50 years old.
Yeah, man, but he does it for the sickos at the end of the day, man. He does it for these wrestling fans who appreciate his style, and his style is for lack of a better term, his style is a dying style. So, for folks who Don't appreciate it. Appreciate it. It's not going to last forever, man. It ain't going to last forever.
And he's exactly 50 years old.
Yes,
he just turned 50 two months ago. So yeah, 50 years old getting a neck injury is never the best news.
No.
A neck injury at 50 is similar to like the knee injury that Dustin Rhodes got last year. It's like,
dude,
you guys are like in your 50.
Double knee replacements is no joke. And he's on one, bro. He wants to come back. He wants it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole
lesson. All right, so we're gonna do things a little bit differently because we're doing this preview for the New Japan Cup after the tournament has already went underway. But it's not like it was a bunch of matches this morning. But we'll break down the two matches that have already happened before we take a look at our bracket. So this morning, Kurgan Hall, you had the New Japan Cup kicking off with two opening round matches. You had Don Fale of the House of Torture going up against former never open weight champion, former Olympic gold medalist Aaron Wolf. Why is Goto rolling out arguably one of like the top 5 draws in this company this way? He's feuding with House of Torture. He beat Evil for the Never Openweight Championship in front of the sold-out Tokyo Dome, winning the Never Openweight Championship. Then he was with the Geek Squad of Hontai on the Road 2 shows, heading into, on the road to New Beginning against House of Torture at that. Then he loses the Never Openweight Championship in 2 minutes after getting jumped by House of Torture to Ren Narita at New Beginning in Osaka. And then he opens up the New Japan Cup. And once again, due to help from House of Torture, Don Fale wins his first match in New Japan in 4 years, beating Aaron Wolf. Why? I understand. I've seen the theories. Shout out to Peps Wrestling. We've had his viewpoint on New Japan in the past on our G1 preview last year. Shout outs to him. Great account to follow. And he said that this is all a part of their big plan where they're going to do Aaron Wolf and Ren Narita at Dominion, and he's going to be able to judo throw Don Fale, and he's going to beat Narita to win back the Never Openweight Championship and stuff like that. That's all fine and dandy. That's a plan. Not what I would have done to roll out Aaron Wolf, a bona fide, legitimate Olympic gold medalist. Why is he feuding with House of Torture? 1. Why is he losing to Ren Narita in 2 minutes? 2. And 3, why is he losing at all to Don Fale, one of the worst wrestlers on the New Japan roster? This is stupid booking.
In the great words of a very wise man who said this long ago, SP3, tell him why you mad, SP3. Tell him why you mad.
This is not how I would have introduced Aaron Wolf.
Listen, man. Me. Listen. I feel you. I understand where you're coming from. As a matter of fact, I agree with you. I wouldn't have done this either. But right now, Aaron Wolf's got no tenure. He is still a young lion in the young lion system, and they're going to treat him like a young lion at this point.
We don't need to treat him like a young lion.
Hey, man. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules, okay? It's not me, Gato's out here treating him like a young lion. Is he getting more pomp and circumstance and more visibility than other young lions? Of course. Like you said, former Olympic gold medalist. Now he's a former New Japan Never Openweight champion, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, my theory is, my hypothesis of all this is, Goto owed Don Fale a favor. This is why.
Did he?
Goto owed him a favor.
Did he?
He owed him a favor. He had to. There's just no way. To me, that makes the most sense. Goto owed Fale a favor, And Fale said, let me beat the new star just so I can say I got one over. You know what I'm saying? He owed him a favor. So this is how it goes down. This is how it goes down. This is how it goes down.
Not how I would book Aaron Wolf, but here we are. Here we are. But yes, let's talk about the other match from this morning, where it was the Great Okan going up against Yuya Uemura. Red hot Kurgan Hall crowd, and they needed something to cheer about, and they were definitely into this matchup here. Went back and forth. Great Okan were using his overpowering strength with the claw and stuff like that, whereas Yuya Uemura used his technical ability. He even hits the deadbolt, but he's not able to hold on and bridge with it. Instead, he goes up to the top rope. He hits a big cross body for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory and start off the New Japan Cup with a victory here. He got to do the final speech in front of the fans. It really feels like Yuya Uemura has all the momentum, and we talked about it earlier. Chris Samsa of Pro Wrestling Stats, so ProWrestlingSheet.com. He put out basically the percentage of people's brackets that basically are doing the prediction brackets for New Japan Cup, and Yuya Uemura is in the lead. Most fans of New Japan Pro Wrestling believe that this is Yuya Uemura's year to win the New Japan Cup, and it definitely feels like he has a ton of momentum coming off the heels of his recent interview with NJPW1972.com as well. So J-News, what do you think about Yuya Uemura starting off the New Japan Cup with a win over Great Okan, and what do you think about the momentum that he has going into this year's tournament?
Use the momentum at the end of the day, right? I mean, you have your star of the new generation as your IWGP heavyweight champion currently, right? In Yota Tsuji, and you need these other guys to the other guys of the new generation. You need them to step up. And if they're gonna want him to step up, especially like you said, based on the interview that he put onto the website and things he has been saying in public, he's quote unquote, I'm not putting this on him, but it just seems that way. He's the next one up, right? At the end of the day. Mm-hmm. So the only way he can be the next one up is A, if he wins a tournament, and B, if he's promoted that way. So, let's use the common sense part of it all here. Good win for him. In regards of him continuing on in the tournament, I got no love for Okan no more, man. I'm sorry, brother. I can't.
It was a good matchup. It was a good matchup. Good matchup. But we got some predictions in the chat with us. Mm-hmm. We got Bloody Money, who says my top 3 picks for the winners are number 1, Callum Newman, number 2, Shota Umino, and number 3, Yuya Uemura. He says my overall pick to win the 2026 New Japan Cup is for Callum Newman to win. Then we got Negro Buck, Nicky Boyd, Negro Buck, Nick Jackson saying make way for the Prince. Damn, that theme bangs. Laughing emoji. But yeah, Callum Newman for the win, please and thank you. So it seems like our chat is on the Callum Newman train, and good news to y'all for that Chris Samsa list. Callum Newman is number 2 as in regards to New Japan fans picking predictions for this year's tournament. Let's look at the bracket now. After day 1, the updated bracket is as listed. Yuya Uemura and Don Fale now move on to March 10th. March 10th is their next second round action, where Yuya Uemura will face Drilla Maloney, while Don Fale will go one-on-one with Shingo Takagi. But we're going to give our predictions for the opening round matches to finish off, because the opening round will be concluded coming up on Sunday. But we got tomorrow morning, we got some action. We got Friday with the anniversary show, where there's going to be 2 opening round matches. And then we got on Sunday, where they're finishing off with one of probably the most anticipated matches of the opening round as well there. So tomorrow morning, we got day 2 of New Japan Cup. We got Tai Chi going one-on-one with the never open weight champion Ren Narita. Who you got, J-News?
Just off the grip, of continuing with my momentum on things and trying never to pick House of Torture members, I'm going to go with our fearless emperor here for the win in Tai Chi.
I would love to agree with you, but unfortunately, they're trying to make House of Torture prominent again. So I have an addiction of being right, J-News. So I'm going with friend Narita.
Yeah, I hear you.
Then we got the other day 2 matchup is going to be El Phantasmo going 1-on-1 with the strong open weight champion and never open weight 6-man tag team champion Boltin Oleg. Who you got here, J-News?
I'm going to try to use wrestling booking logic and momentum here. Not because I want to, but because it just makes the most sense, right? Because you guys know I'm not a big fan of Boltin Oleg, but Boltin Oleg just won the strong openweight championship, as SP3 said. He's also 1/3 of the never openweight 6-man tag team champions, and ELP just lost his New Japan World Television title. So I feel like Boltin Oleg will get his win here, and he will go on to the second round of the tournament.
This is yeah. I think you're right there. I'm gonna go with Boltin Oleg to move on here as well. I don't know if this is like leading to like maybe a losing streak angle for El Phantasmo, and maybe we get like a change of character of some kind. I would like them to follow up these key losses with something for ELP though. Hopefully in the future.
I'm with you there.
Then we got the anniversary show on Friday, J-News, as we're going to have Yoshihashi going 1-on-1 with United Empire's own Jake Lee. Who you got here?
I'm going to go with the emotional favorite of Yoshihashi. Any tournament with Yoshihashi in it is a good tournament at the end of the day. He makes tournaments better. He gets that crowd hyped up. He is the forever underdog. So I'm going to go with Yoshihashi here because I got no love for Jake Lee. And that's just the truth.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of love for Jake Lee coming off the heels of the new beginning in Osaka. Unfortunately, he still pushed a lot more than Yoshihashi. So I want to be right. So I'll go with Jake Lee here to move on. Then one of the matches that I'm looking forward to the most in the opening round is the other matchup on the anniversary show on Friday, as it's going to be the Knockout Brothers, OSKAR, going 1-on-1 with the leader of United Empire, Callum Newman. Who you got here? This one should be good.
I expect this one to be a hard-hitting and physical affair. But if I'm going to go through with my pick towards the end of this tournament, Callum Newman should be winning this match.
I'm also going with Callum Newman to win this one, but really feel like OSKAR is going to have a campaign where he's going to be up there as far as like most improved wrestlers. I still can't get over how well he sold that neck at the new beginning in Osaka. He's been stepping his game up with the little things that he needs. Then we got Sunday, the final opening round matches. We got Shota Umino going 1-on-1 with Chase Owens. I think this is easy for both of us. Shota Umino.
We'll pick Shooter, right? We'll pick him. But this is that match, SP3, and you know what I'm talking about. This is that match. And I fear it, man. I fear it. I'm going with Shooter, but this is that match.
Oh man, yeah, this is the match where we're like, oh please don't be stupid. You've already been stupid with Aaron Wolf, but don't be just idiotic. Come on. And I said it before, Sunday might be the most anticipated match of the opening round, as we got Yuto-Ice 1-on-1 with TMDK's Roy Uemura. If you remember their exchanges in the I think they faced off in the World Tag League, but especially at New Year's Dash in that IWGP Tag Team Championship matchup between the Knockout Brothers and Uemura and Zack Sabre Jr. And then their exchanges on the first night of the New Japan Cup in Kurgan Hall. They just have that intensity, that heated rivalry dating back to their days in the dojo where Uemura was the class ahead of Yuto, and Yuto always has that type of energy towards anyone else who's a New Japan Dojo graduate, this one should be really damn good. Who you got winning, J-News?
This is a 50-50 for me, depending as to where they want to go with the booking here, to be quite honest. It's a singles tournament. They've proven before in singles tournament, as per the guys from the Knockout Brothers, that as single stars, they're just not there as of yet. So based on that New Japan Universe logic, I'm going to go with Big Roy here for the win against Yuto-Ice.
In any other world, I would be going with Yuto-Ice here. But they really pushed on commentary that the last 2 years in the New Japan Cup, Roy has come up short to his senpai, Zack Sabre Jr. So that makes me believe that, yeah, Roy is going to win this one. Uemura moves on, gets the win here, and maybe we can run back a Knockout Brothers versus TMDK later on this year, since they're still the IWGP Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, I'd like that, man. Right now, the tag team division, especially in the heavyweight scene, is as hot as it's been in quite some time. So for them to be able to run that back, I would definitely like and appreciate that. Zack still needs to, and from my point of view, Zack still needs to be spotlighted in some way somehow. And obviously, continuing to push the younger generation guys is always going to be a plus for New Japan right now in the immediate. So that's why Roy's my choice in this match, and wanting to see that tag match down the road this year again would be cool.
So let's go back to our bracket and we can predict the second round of the tournament. So like we said, first night you had Uemura beating Great Khan. You had Don Fale beating Aaron Wolf. So that means on March 10th, which is next week, we got Uemura versus Drilla. Who you got here, J-News?
Momentum's on his side, man. Momentum's on his side. I got young Uemura, going for this win here over Drilla. But it should be a great match.
Yeah, I think they get time. I think Uemura has a good stretch of matches that he can have some real bangers with, and I think Drilla Maloney is going to be his first opportunity to do that. So yeah, I'm going to go with Uemura to move on there. Mm-hmm. Then in the other second round matchup on the 10th, we got Don Fale going up against Shingo Takagi. Please, dear Lord, Shingo Takagi wins.
The Rampage Dragon for the win in my book as well. There's just no way Don Fale gets past the second round. Favors are over here, man. Favors are over.
Pumping bomber and just knock his head off, please. Mm-hmm. Please. A lot of people are looking forward to Yuya, and Drilla says Negro Buck. He says banger matchup. And we got big man dogs. He says I wouldn't be shocked if Drilla wins, to be honest, but I lean Uemura. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're definitely right that we can definitely see a Drilla upset here. But like I said, Uemura it seems like the guy who has the most momentum, or second, 1A, 1B with another guy in this tournament who has the most momentum heading into this year's tournament here. Then we got on the 12th. We got the second round on the bottom half of the left-hand side. So for Taichi and Ren Narita, we're split. I got Ren Narita moving on. You got Taichi. So that would put Taichi going up against Satoshi Kojima for you. Who you got?
That's right, man. A third of Team 150. It's going to be Taichi versus Koji. And, for all intents and purposes, I think it would make most sense for Taichi to win here. Have another strong showing in the New Japan Cup over Koji, because Koji just coming in to fill in for Ishii anyway. So I would have Taichi win this match.
I would feel so robbed if you were right and Taichi win and we could have got Taichi and Ishii. That feels like we got robbed. I got Red Narita and Satoshi Kojima, but I'm the same as you. I don't think Kojima's going to win that one. I got Red Narita moving on against Kojima. Then we got the final bracket, 3-man bracket at the bottom half of the left-hand side. El Phantasmo and Boltin Oleg. We both got Boltin Oleg moving on. So we got a battle of the big boys on the 12th. Boltin Oleg, Hanare, that should be really good. If Boltin Hogan could bring the energy that he brought against Ishii and bring that never open weight style that he showed on display there, this should be good. I'm going with Boltin Oleg to move on though against Hanare. Who you got?
I'm gonna oppose you here. I'm gonna go Hanare for the win. Sets up probably another 6-man never open weight title championship contenders match for the United Empire boys on their side to contend with Hantai on the other side. And if they ever wanted to do another, New Japan in the USA show, he can be Hanare can just be an opponent for Boltin Oleg at the end of the day. So I got Hanare winning here.
There we go. So got some different predictions here on the left-hand side. Let's go over to the right-hand side. So we both got we got a difference of opinions as well on this side as well. Starting on the top half of the right-hand side. You got Yoshihashi winning against Jake Lee. I got Jake Lee winning against Yoshihashi. The winner of that will face Hirooki Goto. So you got a battle of Bishamon coming up on the 13th. I got Jake Lee and Goto. I think Goto wins against Jake Lee. I don't think Jake Lee is going to beat the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. Who you got? Yoshihashi and Goto, battle of Bishamon.
I feel like it will be one of the more emotional matches in recent New Japan memory between Yoshihashi and Hirooki Goto. But Yoshihashi hasn't taken that step. And the Goto revolution will continue as he gets the win over his tag team partner in that match.
Yeah, I got a couple of people agreeing with you. We got a Hanare pick from a Negro Buck. We got Jordan who says Hanare is a wild man. I think it was my missus who came in as I was watching New Japan Cup, and Hanare came out with the earring. She was like, he looks like a genie. Big Man Dog says if Ren wins, then it should be Oleg. He says I'm split though. And we got Jake Lee pick from Big Man Dogs. You're crazy, sir. And Negro Buck says either way, he's got Goto moving on, and it seems like we're in agreement on that. Goto's gonna win this 3-man bracket at the top hand side of the right hand side of the bracket. Then right underneath them, we got OSKAR and Callum. We both got Callum Newman moving on at the anniversary show. So on the 13th, it would be Callum Newman versus Hartley Jackson. I think Hartley's going to give him a hell of a matchup, going to use his power and strength advantage, his size advantage against Callum. But I think Callum Newman just is too hot, too dominant against David Finlay coming into this tournament at New Beginning in Osaka. I think he's going to beat Hartley Jackson here. What about you?
This is one of those situations where I see Callum Newman doing some classic wrestling stuff. He'll work a hold, or he'll pick a body part, and he'll pick Hartley apart here. But the new age Prince will get his win over Hartley Jackson here.
Yeah. So we both got Callum Newman moving on, which makes for a very interesting quarterfinal matchup with the former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, if we're right. But we got to finish up with the right-hand side at the bottom half, right underneath the Callum Newman bracket. We got Shota Umino and Chase Owens. We are both praying to God that Shota Umino wins that one on the 8th. So that would be Shota Umino going on to face another House of Torture member. God damn it. What the fuck are we doing? On the 14th, it would be Shooter versus Yujiro Takahashi. Please, dear Lord, Shota Umino must win this. Now that basically guarantees that Chase is not winning, so I will give it that. The fact that the winner versus Yujiro Takahashi got a bye in this tournament, it definitely guarantees that Shooter's winning against Chase, at least.
Well, there's that of it. There's the sense of it, right? At the end of the day, but sometimes Gato doesn't like to make sense. So in this case, I'm still going with Shooter for the win over Yujiro here, and he goes on to the 3rd round.
And we both got Shooter picking up the victory there. And then the final half here, we got Yuto-Ice and Ryohei Uemura on Sunday. We both got Ryohei Uemura moving on to set up a TMDK matchup on the 14th. Ryohei Uemura finally trying to beat Zack Sabre Jr. in this tournament. Zack has eliminated him the last 2 years out of the New Japan Cup. I think this is the year. I think a 3rd time is a charm. I think Uemura gets the win over Zack.
At this point, the young brother needs the rub, right? At the end of the day, he needs some momentum. He needs the rub, and I'm sure Zack doesn't care, but he'll give him a terrific match. And Big Roy gets the win over Zack Sabre Jr. in this particular tournament.
Great question. Negro Buck. How the fuck does Yujiro have a bye? How? How did they determine who gets buys or not in the New
I
Japan?
don't know. There used to be a formula to this. There used to be a rules to this, as in if you won your first round match from the previous year, you get a bye. Whatever the case is, they don't abide by that anymore, man. They don't abide by that anymore.
Probably another favor, like you said earlier.
Hey, man.
Going back to the left-hand side of the bracket. So up top, we both got Yuya Uemura beating Drilla Maloney on the 10th. So that means he would move on to the 15th. And we both got Shingo Takagi beating Don Fale. So that would set up a very tantalizing matchup. Yuya Uemura versus Shingo Takagi on the 15th. Who you got here, J-News?
It's tough to pick against Shingo, man, because I always want Shingo to do good things, but he's at that point in his career where he's helping the younger guys ascend and things of that nature and putting them over. This will be another tremendous match, in my opinion. But I've got to have Uemura win here. Got to have him win here, just so that he can continue that momentum, and he can just be on another level for himself for the year of 2026. So Uemura for the win here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Uemura to win. This has the makings of being one of the better matches of the tournament, because I think that the hard-hitting style of Shingo Takagi mixing with the technical ability of Uemura is gonna mesh very well, and we're getting towards like the deeper waters of the tournament, the winner going on to go to the Final Four. But I think this one's going to be a potential match of the tournament. But I agree with you. I got Yuya moving on and making it to the Final Four. Then we got over here at the bottom half of the left-hand side. So we got difference of opinions here. You got Taichi moving on against Kojima. I got Ren Narita moving on against Kojima. And then on the other half, you got Hanare moving on to the 15th, while I got Boltin Oleg moving on to the 15th. So my matchup would be Ren Narita versus Boltin Oleg, while yours would be Taichi versus Hanare. So who you got, Taichi versus Hanare on the 15th?
I got Hanare, man. Hanare has been snake bitten by injury over the last several years, and his booking has been inconsistent. And he, as a part of the United Empire, should be the secondary dog at the end of the day. So I see it as to where Hanare gets the win here over Taichi, probably in one of those great never open weight type battles that we're so prone to seeing from Hanare. And Taichi, when he wants to do it, he'll do it. You know what I'm saying? He'll dig deep for that King's Road type match out of him. But I got Hanare here for the win in this match to go forward into the final four. Would it be? Or no,
Final four. Yeah. Final four. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, guys, I got Ren Narita beating Boltin Oleg here. It's just gotta happen that way. You gotta have a legitimate heel against your babyface at the top half going into this Final Four. So I gotta go with Ren Narita. They're gonna try to push this House of Torture thing as much as they can, and no one else from House of Torture is gonna make it this far. So Ren Narita beats Boltin Oleg. He moves on to the Final Four for me. Then on the right-hand side, you got Hirooki Goto beating Yoshihashi on the 13th. I got Hirooki Goto beating Jake Lee, while we both got Callum Newman beating Hartley Jackson on the 13th. So that would set up Callum Newman, Hirooki Goto the rematch from last year's Wrestling Dontaku. I talked to Callum Newman recently for the takedown on SI, new part 2 of our conversation, where he talks about that bout with Hirooki Goto and how important that was to his career. That's up right now on si.com. I'll probably share that, the link in the chat with y'all as well. And he talked about how he really feels that matchup with Hirooki Goto is the whole reason he recently got that multi-year contract with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So this should be very key here. Very important matchup for Callum Newman. Very important for Hirooki Goto to get back into IWGP Heavyweight Championship conversation. But I think Callum has learned a lot over the last year, and he's going to come to, and he's finally going to get the monkey off his back, and he will beat Hirooki Goto in the quarterfinals. Who you got here? Hirooki Goto versus Callum Newman.
Yeah, man, I got Newman too. I still have an affinity for the Goto Revolution, but they're not going back to that well anytime soon at the end of the day. So they've got to ride the hot hands of the newer generation guys, and Callum Newman's on a heater right now. So I'll continue to ride the wave of momentum for Callum Newman in this match as he beats Hirooki Goto.
There we go. So we're both going with Callum Newman to get the win. I'm going to share that now, the link in the chat with y'all if y'all want to take a look after we're done or have it saved. I just shared it with y'all in the live chat, my conversation with Callum Newman talking about his match with Hirooki Goto last year at Wrestling Dontaku, but we both got him moving on against Goto this year in the tournament on the 17th. Also on the 17th, we both got Shota Umino moving on against Yujiro Takahashi. But on the bottom half, we also both got Ryohei Uemura moving on against Zack Sabre Jr. So that sets up an all NJPW Dojo graduate battle between Shooter and Uemura. This is another one that has potential match of the tournament written all over it. Who you got here, Uemura or Shooter?
This is another toss-up for me, right?
Yeah.
Because Gato, he doesn't necessarily, and excuse me for using this term, he doesn't necessarily have a hard-on for either of these guys.
No, not really.
So for me, this is why it's such a toss-up. I don't, for whatever reason, I don't feel this New Japan Cup is where they end up having Uemura and Shooter go at it again, being that they've been a tag team so recently. So with that being said, to your point, I think it's going to be one of the matches of the tournament. But I have Roy winning here over Shooter in this for this match, so he can go on to the next round.
Oh, very interesting. I know this is someone that you're interested in, despite you're not interested in their stuff in this particular company. But it was just reported as we were starting this stream, breaking news from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. Mance Warner and Steph DeLander have quit TNA Wrestling.
What?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, hope everything's okay with them and stuff like that. I know Steph's been wanting to get back to work. She's been cleared and everything. So that is interesting. That is interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very
interesting. But hey, it looks like that is the deal here. So hey, to each his own, I guess. That's interesting. We'll talk about that more on the flagship podcast. Oh, okay. So Greg is telling us TNA wouldn't clear Steph.
Okay. I mean, hey, if they won't clear her, then that they can't really do much about that, you know? Her doctors cleared her, right? But TNA wouldn't. So there's the difference there. I'm sure we'll see them on TV. I'm sure we'll see them on TV. Yeah.
Because I remember Mance made a good first impression as far as like his performance against Jon Moxley in AEW. So maybe that's a spot for them to go. There's MLW, who are always looking for new talent and stuff like that. Hey, if they want to come over to Japan, New Japan needs some new gaijins. That would be interesting to see them, and maybe Steph can have some run in Stardom if she's cleared by their doctors. So we'll see. I'm interested to see what's next for Mance and Steph DeLander here. But going back to our predictions here, Ryohei Uemura and Shota Umino, I am disagreeing with you again here. I'm gonna go with Shota Umino to get the win here. I think Shooter's gonna have a nice little run. He's the only finalist from last year that's in this year's tournament. Now that David Finlay is weighing his options in the wrestling world, we don't know what's going to go on with him in the future, but Shota Umino is the only finalist in this tournament this year, so I think that he's going to get far and at least till the final four. So I'm going to go with Shooter to beat Ryohei Uemura. It's more important for him to beat Zack than to make it to the finals.
From a storyline perspective, yeah, I agree with that, but for whatever reason, I feel like Shooter's still been in the spotlight because Shooter, if that makes any sense. But Roy still needs to step up a bit more, which is why I have him advancing past Shooter for this particular tournament.
That's fair. That is fair. All right, then we got next we got the final four. We're down to the final four now, J-News here. So we'll go to the left-hand side one last time, and we got on the 20th is the final four. We got on we got different final fours here. So we got Uemura coming out the top half of the left-hand side, but you got Hanare, right? You got Hanare moving on to the final four, while I got Ren Narita. So I pretty much, outside of one, got all NJPW dojo people in my final four, while you have went with Hanare and Uemura on this left-hand side. I got Uemura versus Narita on the left-hand side. Who you got? Uemura versus Hanare.
I got Uemura taking it to getting the win over this particular member of the United Empire here, be it that the United Empire guys are considered heels right now at the end of the day. So it's still a heel-face conversation and battle. So I have Uemura winning here over this particular member of the Empire.
I also got Uemura moving on to the finals. I think Uemura defeats Ren Narita. Maybe that puts him into contention for the Never Openweight Championship in the future as well. But yeah, Uemura, he feels like he has the momentum to make it to the finals this year. Then we got on the right-hand side of the bracket, we got also a difference of opinion here as well, or half and half. We both got Callum Newman coming out of the top half of the right-hand side, but you got Ryohei Uemura going on to the 20th, while I got Shota Umino. So who you got? Callum Newman versus Ryohei Uemura.
I've got Callum Newman winning this one. The old school wrestling brain in me has one bracket with the good guy and the bad guy, and the good guy winning, and then the other bracket I have the good guy. I got the bad guy winning at the end of the day. So I got Callum Newman here getting the win in this match here for the Empire, and to continue his momentum going into the New Japan Cup final, and he will beat Roy here, and this would be it's still a good tournament for Roy at the end of the day, in my opinion, the way this breaks down. So it gives him a step up, and maybe he'll be able to start contending in that upper mid card realm of things going forward.
Yeah, that's true. I also got Callum Newman moving on. I think Callum Newman beats Shota Umino here. A big win for him, beating one member of the Three Musketeers, while the another member of the Three Musketeers gets beaten on the other side of the bracket. Sets up both of us having the same finals, where we got Callum Newman on the right hand side. We got Yuya Uemura on the left hand side. And as we always do with our predictions here, we're going to do it a 3, a 2, and a 1, and then we'll both say who we think is going to win this year's New Japan Cup. So are you ready, J-News?
I am ready.
All right. So 3, 2, 1. Callum Newman.
That's right. Callum Newman for the win on this tournament here. The way, speaking for myself, the way that I broke it down, I feel like the way I broke it down for my brackets and stuff like that, the new generation guys all get a chance to step up here in the tournament, right? For better or for worse, right? Because not everybody's, only one person gets a chance to win, right? And right now, they need the heat on the heel guy going into whatever the next championship phase is. Is it early, I think, for Callum Newman to be facing off with Tsuji? Not necessarily, because they can do that match over and over and over again over the next couple of years. I don't expect Callum to beat Tsuji the first time out, but he'll eventually get there, I think, in the next couple of years or so. But I do have Callum winning this one. I think the match with him and Yuya should be a banger as long as everything is everything. And yeah, but I got the Prince of the United Empire and the guy who's the head honcho right now over there, getting the win here.
Yeah, I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if Yuya Uemura wins the entire tournament for sure, because he, like I said, I think he has a lot of momentum. And then it would also make sense of why him and Shooter did not win the IWGP Tag Team Championships as well, when it really felt like they had the momentum to do that at the new beginning in Osaka. But you got to capitalize on the momentum that Callum Newman has right now. He not only, defeated David Finlay, but he dominated him. He's the leader of the top heel faction now in New Japan, United Empire. And the United Empire versus Unbound Company is the top feud in New Japan right now. With the way these two stables and factions go at it, it just has that intensity. It has that hatred to it as well. It needs to continue on. And, you had Callum Newman beat David Finlay, run him out of New Japan. Not only that, Callum Newman got a lot of buzz and a lot of people talking about him with his recent comment in my interview with him, where he had some stuff to say about AEW, and it keeps in the trend of the guys that New Japan is building around. Whereas Yuya Uemura, I feel like he's a stronger candidate to win the G1. That's what I would like for Yuya Uemura. I want Yuya to win the G1 and set. I think that you need the biggest stage possible for the next Uemura versus Tsuji matchup. That has all the making to really put the stamp that we are creating the new generation, if that's the main event of next year's Wrestle Kingdom. So I want him to get as far as possible, Uemura, in this tournament before coming up short, before it gives him more momentum to go into this summer and win the G1 and win that, and then move on to face Tsuji at Wrestle Kingdom next year.
Makes sense on your end. I can't disagree with any of that. But for one reason or another, like I said, the newer generation guys just take a step up here. So they just bodes well for the guys in the spotlight right now. So right now I feel like with Tsuji on top, it makes, like you said, it makes sense for the Unbound Company, versus United Empire feud to continue, which is why I went with Callum. And obviously with as white hot as Callum has been, it makes sense for him to get that title shot there. Uemura winning the G1 though, that's an interesting shout. I hadn't thought that far ahead as of yet, but we shall see how things develop in the New Japan Cup and who goes into and who has the momentum coming out of Sakura Genesis. So, yeah.
Yeah, and a great point by Negro Buck in the chat. He says you have to keep Callum as strong as possible for that eventual clash with Billy down the line. Yeah, I see Callum Newman winning some gold as well before the end of the year. Like, I don't know if he's going to be the one to beat Tsuji, say at Sakura Genesis, if he does win the New Japan Cup. He just needs another strong showing in an IWGP Heavyweight Championship matchup. With this win, he would also become the youngest guy to ever win the New Japan Cup, which is another kind of notch in the record books, because he's been doing that. We talked about that in our chat, where he's the youngest to ever hold any IWGP title when he won the tag team championships last year. He's the youngest to ever challenge for the IWGP World heavyweight championship, and now he would be the youngest to win a New Japan Cup, which continues his momentum, shows how much investment that the company has in him after signing that multi-year deal. And at 23 years old, he's a guy that wants to, he said this as well in the interview, he wants to be the next Kenny Omega. He wants to be the next Jay White. He wants to be the next Will Ospreay as the top guy of New Japan Pro Wrestling. And you got to reward a guy who's willing to stay loyal to you and so young in his career. He's like a building block guy, whereas the Three Musketeers, I think that they're always going to have some momentum behind them as far as from the company's perspective. The company will always get behind those guys, whereas I feel like Callum Newman needs this win more.
Yeah. I just like for in my head right now, I'm hoping it all works out match wise for everybody, right? Because if the matches don't bang, then shit won't go right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the only thing that I not necessarily worry about. I don't see how these things are coming about, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. But it's just more or less like, all right, I've seen bangers from each one of these guys. Can they have bangers together? Can they continue to propel that newer generation forward? You know, Callum wanting to take on that role of being that top gaijin is you know, it's heavyweight because those top gaijins in the last decade they're no joke, man. You know what I'm saying? No. None of them are no joke. So, and I'm sure he'll have some things to say about each and every one of them outside of Will Ospreay in the coming, weeks.
Well, he has some stuff to say about Will as well.
Yeah, so yeah, that I know. But it'll be interesting to see as to where he builds himself up to be. But that's part of the excitement and the fandom of what it is to be a New Japan fan, man. Seeing these guys rise and seeing these guys ride those waves of momentum and seeing as to where they go, man. And right now, Callum's got it. Like you said, New Japan's always going to get behind the Musketeers, right? The Reiwa guys. And I always throw Roy in there because he counts at the end of the day. So yeah. They will always get pushed. It's just more or less, will they ever fulfill those expectations, right? And I feel like they have the talent to do so. Whether or not they do it is something else altogether.
Yeah, we shall see, and we shall see who wins this year's New Japan Cup tournament. We got some different opinions in the chat. We got Christopher who says, "Let's go, Ren Narita, win the whole thing." He's asking for torture.
He's asking for the fan base to completely collapse is what Christopher Leclerc is asking for. I just don't. I cannot. I always respect or accept people's opinions about stuff. I accept your opinion about this, but absolutely not. Absolutely not. No.
He's like, no, I'm not asking for any of that. We got Negro Bug who says, well said, SP. Yuya should definitely win the G1. Yeah, I feel like this is the year that you either are going to have Yuya or you have Shooter win the G1. Yeah.
It makes the most sense to do that. Makes the most sense because you're piggybacking off of the Tsuji year. Just in trend, just in line. Tsuji stood out first, which is fine. He got the championship first. Now you're trying to reacclimate or reascend Uemura and Shooter. It makes all the sense in the world for you to have
because Tsuji got there based off his like global heavyweight championship run. None of these young guys have won a G1 yet.
Yeah. So it makes the most sense to put not the Rocket Pack, but it makes the most sense to have them have these big wins. If you want them to continue to succeed, right? Because if you're not going to have them succeed, then what's the point,
We also got Alberto in the chat, a new face in the chat. Good to see you, good brother. Welcome. We do consistent New Japan content, so hit the bell, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Good to see a new face. We got, he says, Callum Newman getting endorsed also helps him, but I am hoping for Yuya Uemura to win. Like I said, I would not be surprised at all if Yuya wins. I just feel that it's better long term for him to come close and lose here to win the G1 later on in the year.
Yeah, because just the way they have it from a standard standpoint, the G1 is more important than the New Japan Cup at the end of the day. So to have Uemura win the G1 would be a bigger deal, right? In the New Japan world of things. So that makes all the sense in the world. Not to say that it's not going to help propel Callum when he wins, but you can do both at the same time. Is basically what I'm saying.
We got Negro Buck who says, I lean more towards Yuya, talk about the G1 win instead of Shooter because of his rivalry with Tsuji moves me. Yeah, that's why I'm saying Yuya wins the G1 this year, because that rivalry, their undeniable chemistry together, that has Wrestle Kingdom main event written all over it.
They're for all intents and purposes, and some people might think I'm going to say something blasphemous right now, but I'm going to roll with it. This might be their new age version of Chono versus Muto, man.
Ooh,
that's what they're aiming for.
That's a lofty.
If that's what they're aiming for, because they're faces, man. Tsuji's never going to be a freaking bad guy. Uemura doesn't fit the heel construct at the end of the day.
I can see Tsuji being a heel one day, though.
Down the line, but not now. But having two, if they build Uemura the way you feel like they're going to build him, winning the G1, having two white hot baby faces face off with each other. New Japan's never been afraid of doing that at the end of the day. No. And going into the G1, going into the Wrestle Kingdom, I would mean with them one-on-one. That's huge for the new generation, though, bro. That would be huge for them. So I think I wouldn't do it. Would I put it past Goto? Sure. But at the end of the day, I would think if you want to have New Japan on a certain level in 2026, 2027, that's the way to go, right? I think.
Could be possible there. We got Berto who says Tsuji a heel down the road makes sense. I agree, SP3, but not now, not the time. No, definitely not now. I'm talking about like years from now, like a couple of years from now. He has the look and he has the feel. He has that kind of like cocky demeanor when he's on the mic as well, that he could be a heel at some point. But right now he needs to be the top face of New Japan because he is the face of the company and the new generation, this new era in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Jordan saying, Okada, who is Chono? What has he done?
Oh, man.
Yeah. And Negro Buck adding, ever since the first Wrestle Kingdom match between them, I immediately thought, oh, this is going to main event the Dome one day. Yeah, they had a really good matchup a couple of years ago at Wrestle Kingdom. And Yuya has that with multiple people, where he just has that vibe. Like with Tsuji, with Shooter, with Yuto-Ice. Those are 3 Wrestle Kingdom main events waiting to happen just for Yuya Uemura alone.
Yeah, man. They like I said, I've always felt like they've had the talent. It's how they execute it, how the talents go about, evolving themselves as performers and as characters on the New Japan landscape. And right now, if they work this right, they can be on the right track. You know what I'm saying? They can be on the right track.
Indeed. All right. Thank you guys in the chat for creating some more conversations with us and come back here and check back with our predictions as the New Japan Cup continues on. We got until March 21st. So, of course, we'll be back here after March 21st for our New Japan Cup final review. And, of course, we got the Sakura Genesis preview coming up at the end of the month, heading into April as well. So, we got a lot of great content concerning New Japan Pro Wrestling coming up with me and J-News and Sanal joining us back as well. But J-News, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for all of y'all joining us in the chat. J-News, I'm going to give you the floor. Let everybody know where they can follow you on social media or when they will see you again.
Hey guys, as usual, thank you for participating in the chat and giving us great comments to piggyback off of and to get inspired off of and things of that nature. Y'all can follow me on the Twitter machine at JohnLYFNMG. Follow me on Instagram _JONJY. You'll see me again here on True Heel Heat next Friday for the preview to AEW's Revolution. So be on the lookout for that. And obviously, as SP3 said, we'll be doing the review for the New Japan Cup final, and then we'll do the preview for Sakura Genesis and stuff like that. So look forward to that. Also, check me out on my podcast on Sunday afternoons with the lovely Dolores, the Hit the Ropes podcast on our respective YouTube channels. So check us out there. And yeah, that's me for today, and appreciate y'all as always.
Good comment here. I wanted to feature Jordan saying, could you guys recommend me one good match to watch on New Japan World? Any match.
They Jordan, if anything, you can always follow their match of like the week. They always post one where it's like a match that they bring up from the past and stuff like that. They do a good thing of that on New Japan World. But for you to watch, there was something recently that they posted up. I feel like it was yeah, you know what? For the sake of it, go watch AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. for the sake of it.
No, I was gonna say an AJ match as well, but I was gonna say everybody says that one. Yeah. So I was gonna say something a little bit different. AJ Styles versus Hiroshi Tanahashi from the G1 2015.
Yeah, I saw someone, an account I follow on Instagram, also post a New Japan AJ Styles match, which is a rare gem. It was AJ Styles versus Kota Ibushi from I believe it was, I forget what event it was from, but AJ Styles.
You said AJ Styles and Kota Ibushi? That might have been Invasion Attack.
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say 2015. 2015 probably. Yeah. That was the one where Kenny basically causes the distraction for him when he goes up for the Phoenix Splash. That's a part of the Golden Lovers drama and saga that they did. But yeah, AJ Styles versus Hiroshi Tanahashi from G1 25. That's one I'm gonna actually go back and watch myself. Me and Jimmy Macaram lately have been rewatching the Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kazuchika Okada series for GOAT Match series. So if you're a Patreon backer, patreon.com/Trio Heat. We recently watched their match from Wrestle Kingdom 7 from 2013, which was an excellent matchup. Worth going out of your way to see. Great shout in the chat by Alberto saying Katsuri Shibata versus Kazuchika Okada in 2017. Sakura Genesis 2017, actually, where the headbutt incident took place. That's another good shout as well. So very famous matchup there. If you want, like, New Japan Cup has had many great matches. Like last year, you had David Finlay and Shota Umino, which was a great matchup. My favorite match of last year's tournament was Zack Sabre Jr. versus Tai Chi, the battle of dangerous techers. That was probably my favorite match from the tournament last year. So a couple of good stuff for you to enjoy. And this one, classic matchup, Zack Sabre Jr. and the American Dragon Bryan Danielson from New Beginning 2024, excuse me. So yeah, worth going out of your way to watch those matches if you want, Jordan. But you can follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHeelSP3. You can follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Heel Heat. Patreon.com/True Heel Heat. Like I said before, $3 a month gets you exclusive content. The best way to support us when we're not live here. We got GOAT Match series over there. We'll come back with a new one next week. And check out all the great content we got on the channel right now, like our NJPW, the New Beginning USA review. Myself myself, Sanal, NJ-News, breaking down the latest USA show from New Japan. Check out THH 370 from this past Saturday, where we talk about all of the wrestling world, WWE, AEW, New Japan, CMLL, AAA, TNA, and everything in between. Myself, Top Guy JJ, the True Draw Josh, and Miss Chrissy Love. Check out our WWE Elimination Chamber 2026 review with myself and the True Draw Josh, breaking down all the action from the latest WWE PLE. And check out Rated Raw review number 109, Bury You Next to Your Father, reviewing this week's Monday Night Raw with me and Top Guy JJ. A lot of great discussions from that review as well. Like we said before, me and J-News will be back to review the New Japan Cup final at the end of the month, but we'll also be back with you next Friday for our AEW Revolution preview. Tomorrow, I will be live here 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with Jimmy Macaram to review tonight's AEW Dynamite, the second to last before AEW Revolution. So join us live for that tomorrow before J-News. It is me, your True Heel Phenom, SP3. This has been our NJPW, the New Japan Cup 2026 preview. We are signing off until next time.